Because it is going to get bad as well, isn't it? They're saying that the water's melting or whatever.
The water's melting,
The ice is melting.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more water and less land. So in the future, it's probably going to be the way we're going to be living, isn't it?
Have you seen that film Waterworld?
Nah, I don't fancy it.
Because that sort of predicts that, yeah.
What, are they saying that the ice thing
exactly,
melt?
yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. If you get, I mean, I think I read that, like, a big chunk of ice, fell off one of the ice, what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like, I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they say, oh, it's bad news, you know, that something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. You with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube, the size of the Empire State Building, stick it in the water, it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
Well, no, only if it freezes up again.
Yeah, well, it will freeze up. The water's going to get cold again because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the ice melts.
If you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's going to make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but you see, I'm using my fables. Imagine a world.
Use your brain instead.
Imagine the world, imagine the sea, like the Arctic or whatever, as a glass of Jack Daniels.
Okay.
A big ice cube falls into it.
Yeah.
It freezes, it melts back on again. So we're alright, I don't know why everyone's worrying.
God, thank God for that, I was getting panicked.
Oh, fine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that will happen.
Should we play some more music and then come back to White
Yeah, this is better than ever.
This is dynamite this week.
Well, it's all there, isn't it? It's interesting, the one that I was telling you before about, what's the name? The lost letter.
The lost letter? What's
lost postcard that's, just turned up. Some woman, sent a postcard years and years ago to a niece or something, right? And her niece was like 3 years old back then. And just now, like, I think like yesterday or the day before, it turned up, the postcard turned up 74 years late.
74 years later.
It took 74 years.
And that 3-year-old girl's been living in the same house that whole time.
Well, yeah.
Sure.
There's not weird about that.
You see what I mean? But there's always a question you can ask to just scratch the credibility of these stories. There's always, it's like the apocryphal tale.
Was this the slugs? Was this those slugs from last week?
Yeah, well, they're holding back because they're slow. Because the postman slug is useless. Its round takes him 74 years. Then he's got to go back to the beginning. He's got 74 years, and they can't carry the bag. That's why they go. That's why they turn to glue. That's why they turn to glue.
Oh. It's pitiful.
It is pitiful.
So you don't believe that someone sent a postcard years ago and somehow it's been stuck in the bottom of a post bag or something and it's only just
stuck in the bottom of a post bag? Yeah. That means that there's like a 95-year-old postman who's still wandering around.
Did you have to pay like the difference on the charges? Because presumably it
wouldn't have had Queen Elizabeth's.
It was a penny black, presumably, was it?
Yeah. What would be on the stamp? It would have been invalid, surely.
Dunno.
See, these are the questions you should ask yourself.
Because if it's the postman's fault, the post office can't turn around.
Who was only 3 at the time himself, wasn't he? He was dead.
No, he is dead. Yeah, he'll be well and truly dead now.
Yeah.
But the fact is that the post office made an error, right? They lost this letter.
Sure.
It's only just turned up. They can't turn around and say, sorry about this, I hope it isn't urgent. It's turned up 74 years late, and by the way, you owe us 25 pence.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do that, would they?
No, that's true, that's true.
So
that's true. You're asking questions, though, you see? That's true, you see?
Like, at that Sony's night, right, you've got a lot of, respectable people going to that thing, you know, people who are high up at the BBC and that.
Yeah.
And just the way, you know, it's a posh night, there's people there with dinner jackets on and stuff. And then I went to the toilet for a wee. Old fella in there. I thought he looks like he's been in the, you know, the radio game for years, probably done loads of award-winning Sony stuff.
Yeah.
You know, all the BBC documentaries they do, in-depth stuff, and I thought, you know, I wonder if I'll be like him when I'm older, I wonder if I'm as good as him. Thinking all that, he's having a wee in the next urinal. Farts.
I know. Yeah.
He just farts. Old fella in a dinner jacket, probably hired. And I
but is that like they try to? They think, well, I better do it in here, and it's sort of like a trumpet, and everyone just goes, yeah, that's fine. What's up with that? You know, yeah, I know what you mean. It's just the arrogance of doing it.
He just did it. It sounded like a lost whale. and he didn't sort of go and try and clinch it. It carried on, and then he went, "Oh, that was a good one."
Really?
Old fella, must have been about 70.
Oh dear.
And
what? Better out than in.
Yeah.
But it's not though. I wasn't brought up like that. You see.
Right.
Because I did it. I mean, I never really did it that much as a kid.
Sure.
And then I was at my mum and dad's.
You never did it that much as a kid. What farted?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not just like, you know, as a joke and that.
We are taping this for next year's Sony Award, aren't we? We're taping this, what we're talking about now, aren't we? To hand in. Because this is, go on.
But I was at my mum and dad's, right? And, Suzanne was sat on the floor in front of me, and she was like, "Oh, rub me neck, it's hurting." So I thought, oh, and I hate doing that, it really it bores me.
Well,
like.
she's your girlfriend, for goodness sake.
I know, Dale Winton's different, you're getting paid for that, go on.
So I thought, the only way to shift her, I'll let one go, right? So I did that.
I love that!
It's such a loving relationship.
I love that, that's great! So it's like doing the washing up badly.
Yeah.
She won't ask me again, what have you done? I've smashed the cups up and I've written in excrement across the wall. Well, that's no good, isn't it? Well, I won't do it again then.
Give me the marigolds, I'll do it.
I've nailed the cat to the fridge, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Go on.
But yeah, so I did that, and it worked. She sort of got up and said, "Oh," and my dad said, "What you do that for?"
Yeah. What was he thinking?
So I said, "Oh, I hate rubbing her neck, does me head in." So he says, "You know, I've never trumped in front of your mother for 40 years."
Sorry, where was this? Chigley? Why is this family talking like this? Young Karl, I've never trumped in front of your mother in the 35 years. What? I don't know what...
No, it's just that he said, you know, we've done a lot of things in the family that
Hold on, what did he say that for? What, he's never trumped in front of your mother?
He just offered that information up.
Well, he just was surprised that I did it. He said, "Where have you got that from?"
Yeah.
Whoa, you lower intestines, I'd thought. What do you have to imagine there's a class of farting. Oh, no. we haven't told our kids about farting. He doesn't do it. We haven't told him about it. We haven't. No, we don't do it in front of them. You have to learn it, do you?
No, but there's a place. That's what I was always told.
Go on.
There's a place for that.
Cornwall.
So, and my mum, you know, it's the same. She doesn't do it.
Right.
If she goes to the toilet to, you know, do what you got to do, she makes sure, like, she'll sort of say things like, "Are you going out for a walk?"
Are you going out for a walk?
Does she know that you're broadcasting this?
Well, yeah.
She's probably around at the neighbours now, listening.
But, Harry Potter.
Yeah. Can't be honest with it. Have you read them?
No, because the first time it came out, I was a bit confused, wasn't I? Because I thought it was about
Of course you were. Yeah. Of course what? What?
This is a what? It's a book.
No, I got confused with the little rabbit. I thought it was her, didn't I? You talked about it when
Beatrix Potter.
Yeah, I got mixed up with that, so I sort of missed out on the first one anyway.
You were just running around confused.
So it was it was sort of too late to get into it, I think, after...
Yeah, it's too late now, yeah. It's impossible. Same with Shakespeare, if you weren't around, you know, the day he wrote the first ones, there's no point in going back.
But it's all the fuss that she's getting as well, like,
Well, I think it's because she's a British industry now, isn't she? I mean, it must have made... What, billions?
Well, it's the perfect success story. She writes a story for her children, and it becomes a worldwide phenomenon. You know, it's not cynical. It's just a great story.
Did your dad ever pop anything down in writing?
I tell you what, my mum wanted to do it.
Yeah.
There's been loads of things, little inventions she's come up with and that, but she's been too busy doing other stuff. But she used to come up with stories for me as a kid that I'm sure, if they came out, they'd be a success.
Yeah.
Go on.
Do you remember any of them?
There was one about a little red car. I can't remember how that ended. But the one that was really good was about a kid who gets a dog, right? But it's quite an old dog.
This is going to be an episode of the Waltons, isn't it? And then go on.
And he's playing with the dog and that, but it starts getting a bit old. It's about 15 or whatever.
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, it's rubbish, this dog." So,
I would love that book for kids. I would love that. Tommy went, "Oh, Mummy, my dad's... Oh, no, kill it then. Kill it then." Shall I? "Yeah, just throw it in the lake. I'll get you another one. Do you want a Nintendo? Yeah. Kick the rabbit to death then." Or no food for you.
Oh,
Brilliant.
No, come on.
Well, now to one of our most popular features. I mean, this could even rival monkey news one day. I mean, it is monkey news. It's you know, it's news from the point of view of a monkey, a shaved monkey. It's Karl Pilkington's diary. Oh, he's written it down, yeah.
Was that the jingle, or were you just just annoyed about something? Okay. Went and did the podcast. We had a meeting after. I don't like meetings, as I can't keep focused on what people are talking about. I think Ricky has the same problem as after 25 minutes he was trying to wrestle me. I tried to do what spiders do and stayed still as if I was dead. And Ricky just stayed on top of me, not moving. A bit like when you see one of them big snakes swallowing a sheep. Ricky got bored and released me. I went home thinking, why had I left my old job for this? A homeless man asked me for some money, but I didn't feel like I should treat him, as I felt that he'd probably had a better day than me.
Oh, God.
Suzanne called me to say she'd gone for a haircut, and that she'd meet me in the supermarket. I went to the supermarket, but she wasn't there. I called her and she said she was near the fruit aisle. I went to the fruit aisle and she wasn't there. Turns out she was in a different supermarket on the other side of town. And that if I'd listened to her properly, I'd have known that. I didn't want to say that
Well, you just went to the first supermarket you thought of, as opposed to listening to what supermarket... I'm in the supermarket, alright, bye.
I didn't want to say that I hadn't heard her properly, because my ears were ringing a bit from the wrestling from earlier. 25 minutes later, I met up with Suzanne. Her haircut wasn't that bad. Normally her haircuts are followed by an argument between us, as she pays over the odds for some daft haircut that's the latest style.
Brilliant.
I wish she'd take a picture out of a magazine or ask for a style rather than letting the hairdresser do what she wants. I said I only tell her to do this as she's got a square head, and a close-cut hairdo makes it look squarer. She said, what do you think of this cut? I said it looked alright, as I couldn't be bothered arguing about it. It's weird writing a diary. I don't know who thought of doing one of these first. The last time I did one was at school. They used to get you to do it so they could keep an eye on whatever you were up to. My diary used to say the same thing every night. Got home, went to the shop to get potatoes, bread, milk. Went home, watched telly, went to bed. I think I might have gone to Twiggy's Dance Club just so I had something different to write. You've not told us about Twiggy's Dance Club.
It's just, you know, I sort of, when I was a kid, I sort of gave everything a bit of a go. I did boxing and that, didn't I? Gave that a go.
About 45 minutes.
And, yeah, a mate sort of said, oh, you know, you're into your dancing, your robotics and that, you're doing your body popping, right? Body popping and that. He said, you ought to come to Twiggy's. And, I went there, but I didn't go in, it was shut. They were just having like loads of toilet rolls delivered. I think like they were like using it as a storage place for toilet rolls and that. So I said, oh, I've come to have a dance. And like, oh, not tonight. Come back tomorrow. I never went back.
Brilliant. What a waste of an anecdote. Right. Brilliant.
Just to recap, you're convinced then that the teachers are asking you to keep diaries so they can keep tabs on you. And then to continue the diary, as there were more problems happening on the estate, they started to add Saturday and Sundays to the school diary to keep an eye on what we were doing at the weekend. I struggled to fill it on a Sunday, as the shop I got potatoes and bread from was shut on a Sunday. I had to go over to Shepherd's Bush to meet someone. I got the tube. There was a badly burnt man on the tube. It's amazing how the body can continue through quite a lot of bad stuff. It got me thinking about how much stuff you could remove in your body, one by one, without dying. If it was a competition, the cockroach would win, as it can live for a week without a head.
I just mean, like, say if, you know, they run out of ideas for TV programmes and that, right? They get someone who isn't well. They go, look, do you mind if we make a programme on you? And what they do, they sit them in the bed, and they go, right, what we're going to do now is take out the heart, but replace it with a pacemaker. Right,
No. Sorry. People with pacemakers don't have their heart taken out and a pacemaker popped in.
Alright then. Some sort of machine. What I'm getting to is...
Have you been playing Operation?
What I mean is, the big finale would just be a head chatting with loads of wires going into it, and it's like, look what we can do with science.
That's what the programme's called. It's the same every week. The volunteer is just a head with loads of wires coming out of it.
Look what we can do with science.
And he's going,
goodbye.
Oh, I feel ill.
Got some post delivered to me today. It was... Oh, this is great.
This makes it in the diary.
Got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington.
I don't know why that's so funny. Oh God!
I got some post delivered to me today. It was addressed to Mr. Dilkington. I opened it and the first sentence read, "Dear Mr. K. Dilkington, you're one of our most valuable customers." I put it in the bin. Thought I would learn some new words, as Steve always says I don't use enough different words. I read in the Fortean Times that the word "wew" means an ugly female ghost with drooping breasts.
What do you mean?
Is that how am I pronouncing that right?
Who's using that word? Who is using that word?
It was just W-E-W-E.
Let's call it a woo. An ugly female ghost with drooping breasts. I think I'm right when I say there are too many words in the world. I don't think I will ever get round to using the word woo. Watched a health programme. Wasn't watching it properly, but heard some doctors say that we only get so many heartbeats in a lifetime, so don't do too much exercise. I told Suzanne, and she said I probably hadn't heard it right. We got talking about death. Suzanne said she didn't like thinking about it. I said she might end up being a woo. I was chuffed as I'd managed to use my new word. I went to the supermarket to get tonight's tea. On the way I stopped and looked in the fishmongers at all the different fish they had in the window. It's like a child in one of those kids' TV shows.
I know!
Mr. Pilkington went to the fishmonger. He stopped and looked at all the fish in the window.
Hello, Mr. Dilkington, they said.
There was a newspaper clipping stuck on the glass about a two-headed fish that they've made in Taiwan. I don't see the point in doing this, as a fish having two heads ain't gonna solve the world's hunger problems, as the head is the bit you throw away. Invent a fish with two bodies, and I'd say well done.
Good point, isn't it?
Suzanne watched one of her favourite TV programmes. I've told her the telly only goes on if there's something she wants to watch. If there's nothing on, she has to talk to me about stuff I've learnt. Like Descartes. Watched a programme on him the other day. He is the one who said something like, "I know I'm about 'cause I dream." Doesn't work for everything, 'cause ants don't sleep. I don't know if I'd like that or not. You don't know if you would like it if you didn't ever
Not
sleep.
sleeping. It's just one long day. I don't know. Don't know how you'd put up with that. Do you think it'd be a good idea?
No.
Why not?
Because, as you said, it would get a bit boring. You know, your sleep is your rest, your time off. It helps you detoxify. It helps you sort of think things through on a subconscious level. You know.
Well, don't you ever get it where, I mean, sometimes it's brilliant to have a sleep when you're tired, but don't you sometimes
Yeah,
feel
that's
like...
the best time to have a sleep when you're tired.
No, but sometimes when you go to bed and you're not that tired and you're kind of thinking, oh, I'm going to waste some hours of my life now and I'm not really in the mood for this.
Well, that's just wishing you had longer on this earth doing creative things. I mean, if you didn't have to sleep, you could spend more time talking to a tortoise and going to the toffee shop. Play. The Scientist. Do you think that's about you, Carl? What happened there with all that rubbish pressing the wrong thing going out and that?
Don't want to go... I've sorted it now. Doesn't matter.
Right.
You've come back, you're not focused, Carl. That's what concerns me. Your mind's on other things.
I'm alright now, though.
You
Ready
alright?
to go. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is... Oh... I just...
I'll tell you
can't
what,
believe it.
right, I'll tell you how focused I am.
What?
Got some new ideas for you.
Go on.
Well, they've all been blinders in the past.
Go on.
Did you do any competitions when I was away?
Did we? I think we did, didn't we? Didn't we give away a DVD?
Did we?
Yeah, we did, Yeah, go on. Yeah,
Right,
go on. Anyway.
Well, I've thought of some,
This isn't like radio, is it, as we know it? This is just people talking.
Mm.
If the mic's on, it's luck.
Yeah.
If anyone's listening, I've no idea what they think of this show. It's not a show.
Not in the traditional sense.
No. Okay,
No.
then you're going to change with that, Carl.
Because a
You've got
show suggests a certain form of presentation.
Yeah.
A certain pride.
to- And when we do present
And
it...
dare I say it, some planning.
Yeah, and when we do, it's ruined by him pressing the wrong button.
Yeah.
yeah, but I've got some planning here.
Go on, then.
Quizzes.
this?
What I did was, when I was on holiday,
Yeah.
right, you said, you know, come up with a new idea, right? So the best way of coming up with ideas is sort of,
Thinking.
sort of nicking a TV show name and then twisting it a bit.
Yeah.
So...
Or just rip off Simon Mayo's idea completely.
That's
Well,
good
I
advice for anyone out there.
I didn't know.
yeah.
If you're interested in
See,
ideas.
Carl is presently running a course writing for TV.
Yeah.
And that's the lesson 1, isn't it? Just rip something else off.
Just do it and change the title slightly.
Yeah,
Well,
go on.
this one I haven't really got. I don't know what to do on the game, but I'm thinking strike it, Ricky.
That's all you've got.
That's
what you've come up with. How long did that take?
What is that?
I just thought it sounded a bit like Lucky. Forget that one then.
Yeah, forget that one. Okay, yeah, well,
Right.
no, good. No, we all have hits and misses. Even Spielberg's, not all his films, you know, can hit the. Go on.
Right.
No, okay, no, it's a good. Go on. Yeah.
Remember Big Brother?
Yeah. Do I remember? Well, no, go on.
Big Mother, right? You call in. If your mum's heavy, you win a CD.
What do you mean? How can you prove that?
Alright, forget that. Right, here. Here's one.
Right, ER. Good one.
No.
Yeah, no.
The Price is Right, remember that?
Yeah.
Right.
The Price is Ricky?
No. The rice is right. And what I do, I read from an Indian menu and a Chinese menu. You tell me whether you have pilau or egg fried.
He's a genius, isn't he? He really is. A modern.
That one.
Go on
don't
then.
get it.
Go into that. Let's go into this one. Let's not cross this off right away. Go on then. What you read from what?
Well, I'll get a couple of menus from like an Indian and a Chinese takeaway.
Yeah.
And I'll go like, chicken korma.
Well, could I just suggest that as it's an Indian, it will be pilau, and anything you read out that is.
Yeah, but you don't know which one I'm reading from.
What, the chicken korma's Indian, isn't it?
Yeah, so you go pilau. But then
Well, then you might as well say Indian or Chinese.
No, because then the name wouldn't work. The rice is right.
Okay, yeah, I forgot you was working for the title backwards, aren't you? Okay, yeah. Okay.
I'm so confused. I don't know where I am or what day it is.
A program that they've been in on Channel 4, right?
Can you cross that out? We're not doing The Rice is Right
I
either.
don't understand the Rice is Right.
No, go
I'll
on.
tell you that later. We'll have a game in the office, right? A game that they've been in on Channel 4, but has got really big viewing figures.
Well, obviously not.
Right.
Or they wouldn't be binning it. Go on.
Do you know 15 to 1?
Yeah.
They're getting rid of that, right?
Are they?
I'm thinking 15 Taiwan. Get some items that are made in Taiwan, right? Get 15 items, and I say what they are, and then you go, oh, I bet it's the vase. Or something.
That's one that's made in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Just explain that again very quickly.
No, don't go.
Alright,
Cross it out.
forget that.
Cross it out. 15 Taiwan.
Right.
Go on.
This is the one that I've prepared for, because I think this
is
isn't
a blinder.
daft, this is good.
Let's
Go
play
on.
a tune and let's hear it after that.
Oh, God.
I'm
you
very
sure?
excited.
Are we going to play it after that, or are we going to save
No,
it till...
you can explain
No,
it
it's
after
out.
it. I'm very excited.
You're interested in like where sayings come from as well, aren't you? Because you told me one in the week. What that? I don't know if Steve's aware of that. Do you want to tell Steve this one?
What's this a saying?
Can we do this quiz?
We'll
We'll do the quiz later. I know you're excited about the quiz. Let's do that later. But what's this saying?
Right. What is the saying? Chucking a baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah.
Have you heard that phrase?
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. How would you use that?
Well, how would I use that? Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I suppose if you've been discussing something, you've come up with some plans, but you're slightly worried, and you know, you might abandon the whole plan, whereas there might be some ideas in there which are still worth retaining.
Exactly.
So you don't want to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
There might be something you can just change, and you don't. Yeah.
You know, there might be a few ideas you can salvage from an otherwise worthless one.
Well, the saying, right, comes from like years ago again, and
Pre or post phone?
and ages and ages ago when, like, you know, the bloke worked in the house, you know, he was like the coal man, and then you had like
No, wait, it's important.
then like the mum is like, you know, she stays at home making the dinner, looking after the kids.
Yep.
And you've got like the little kid who's just growing up, just messing about and stuff. So what happens is, back then they didn't have like fresh flowing warm water every day. So all they could only afford to have like one full big bath of fresh water. So they'd fill up the bath, right? And then the dad would come home and he'd say, oh, I've had I had a tough day at work and that, down the pit. And his wife would say, it's alright, I'm putting the dinner on, you're gonna have a nice warm bath.
So, because he gets the bath first.
Because he gets the bath first, because he's the grafter.
And he's
right?
covered in coal.
He's covered in coal, so the water's like minging by the time he's finished.
Yeah.
Right? And then the wife says, oh, after all my cleaning the house and doing the cooking, I'm a bit sweaty now.
She's covered in dust and grime. She has the next one.
I'll have a bath, right? At the end of the line, there's a little baby. It's been playing out all day. Also got like little grubby knees and stuff. Needs to have a bath.
Yeah.
It goes in the bath, right? But because the water's so dirty,
Sure.
they go and empty the water out of the window. Can't see the baby in it. Chucking the baby out with the bath water. That's where it comes from.
I don't know what to say, Steve. Because I've heard this. I'm just. What do you think, Steve? Steve.
So firstly, that sort of, I mean, that doesn't explain
Where do you
why-
start?
well,
You're struggling, aren't you? You're struggling where to
Well,
start.
firstly, I can't see how we've now applied this to,
I've
you know,
been
the
thinking of
example
this.
that I
I've been
thought
thinking of
earlier.
this for days, Steve. Waiting for you to hear this one.
These coal mining parents, deeply
Yeah.
negligent.
Yeah, I love
They've
the
left
fact that
their baby in the bath, unattended.
That's the way round to do it. The one covered in coal.
Yeah. has
You
the
go
bath
first.
Sure.
You go first. Don't wash the baby and then get in that.
Yeah.
You one covered in coal goes first.
Yeah.
That's the best idea.
Yeah.
Second most dirty one goes second, and then the clean little baby.
Yeah.
I think we should do him last because he's done nothing towards this family.
But more than that, Rick, leave him to his own devices.
Yeah.
Jack, I'm just going to throw the water out.
Yeah.
In the bath.
Don't check first.
Have you checked that the baby's down there?
Don't
No,
check,
I'm not
don't
even going to waste
bother.
my time
You'd
checking.
see it, you'd see
I'd
it.
be able to see a
You'd
baby.
see a baby in
if
there.
a baby was in here,
Yeah.
I'd be able to see it. I'm just going to throw it out.
Yeah, I'm not even going to look, to be honest, Jack.
Not
We've all
even
had our
gonna look,
bath.
yeah.
If the baby's in there,
Yeah.
then it should be,
Be
making
careful,
itself
Jack.
sick.
We have lost 3 children this way. Don't worry. Where did you read that?
Boo hoo hoo, it won't do. Listen to the Gallagher Boys and stop crying your heart out on XFM 104.9. No need to. It's Monkey News.
So that is it time.
Time for Monkey News. Can we have the jingle?
Oh, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
I love the jingle.
Right, well,
Can we play that jingle once more?
Yeah.
let me cue it up.
So, chimpanzee that Monkey News.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Got a lot to live up to now.
I'll be
Yeah.
honest with you, often that jingle is more fun than the Monkey News.
Yeah.
So you've got to excel yourself this week.
Well, it's there's been a lot going on.
In the monkey world.
Yeah, I was looking at the Guinness Book of Records that we bought last week.
What you bought?
What that I bought.
Is it still wet?
I was cleaning the tea off it. I was having a little read through, and there was some monkey stuff in there. There was this isn't the actual story. I'm just telling you
Yeah.
what it's like looking up monkey news all week.
It's like behind the scenes. It's like the making of Monkey News, which is actually available on DVD.
Exactly.
It's 12 minutes unseen footage, just the making of Monkey News, which is my favourite bit in a way. If you enjoy Monkey News, see how it happens. See, from conception to.
It's all put together.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
What's a typical Monkey News day?
Well, there was some stuff about a monkey in the Guinness Book of Records. I think it had the record for asking for a cup of coffee in 23 different ways.
I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say. Oh.
That's good. Just to show the Monkey News is getting bigger and people are covering it. Donald McIntyre, he was on BBC
Yeah.
on Monday. He
That was
was
on
doing
Channel
some-
5, wasn't
No, he hasn't moved over yet. This is something that he did for the BBC.
he? Right.
So that was pretty good. That was about well, it wasn't good. It was pretty sad, really.
What?
He was doing this thing. Do you know, like last week we were doing Cheap as Chimps,
Yeah.
and someone emailed in saying, Donald McIntyre's doing Cheap as Chimps,
Really?
and it was about.
I bet he wasn't. I bet Donald McIntyre did not do a programme
they
called
didn't
Cheap as
use that
Chimps.
title.
No.
But you could tell where they'd got the format from.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
And it was about gorillas and how much you can get one for. But the problem was, because they're that pricey, they were sort of. I mean, I don't even want. It is depressing.
If it's
actually.
cruel, then don't. Yeah, forget it.
Yeah, it was a bit.
Okay.
You know
I mean, could I just say, in the making of Monkey News and Cheap as Chimps, not, and you're no one's harmed.
No monkey's
No,
harmed.
no. Go on.
All right. Well, anyway, today's story was emailed in.
So you didn't even do anything towards it. So when you say I've been working on Monkey News, what you printed that out?
So is the making of Monkey News you checking your email?
Well,
Brilliant.
no, I'm always looking at different options. At how much is going on.
This is what makes me laugh when he says he's really busy.
Yeah.
I'm doing other stuff and that. I'm doing other stuff.
People are sending in Monkey News.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get an email.
Is it
check
from
it out.
Reuters?
Well, listen, it's from Steve.
Okay.
Right? Now, what it is this monkey, right?
Yeah.
Don't know where it was. but there's a bit before the monkey anyway, right?
Jeez.
Is this... No, listen.
Shoot me.
Right? It's a bank. There's this bank, right? Busy bank. Normal day, everything's going normal, right? Busy bank, people going in, doing what they do, seeing about mortgages and stuff.
Yeah.
Everything's normal, everyone's happy, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, it's quite busy one day. Fella comes in with a gun and a balaclava on.
Up to no good.
Right, I'll tell you now, Carl. If this fella turns out to be any ape or monkey-related species, you're never doing this again. You're never... so just, if you want to finish it, it's at your own risk. But if this fella who robbed the bank turns out to be a chimpanzee, that's the end of Monkey News.
Alright.
Okay, let's hear the end. It's a lovely day in a lovely bank. Everyone's happy.
Everything's normal.
The man comes in the balaclava.
Man comes in,
Is it a man?
starts waving a gun around.
Shut up, Rick. Let him finish the story.
Starts waving a gun around,
Yeah.
right?
Up to no good.
So everyone's thinking, oh God, you know, wish I didn't come in here, it's not going to be a good day.
How tall is the man?
Shut up. Let's hear it.
Everything, you know, oh God, and he's telling everyone to get down on the floor.
Yep.
In
Everyone's
what, in
thinking-
English? In English?
Yeah.
In
Think
English.
so?
Yeah.
So everyone's panicking, everyone's getting on the floor thinking this is it, this is, you know, it's all over.
Yeah.
Just when you think, you know,
It couldn't
it's all
get
bad
any worse.
news,
Yeah.
it's all bad news. Doors swing open. Little monkey wanders in.
God, it's worse.
Shut up, Rick.
Little monkey wanders in, right? The robber's like, what's going on here? He's telling it to get down on the floor, I don't think it was taking any notice.
No,
right?
it was just busy asking for coffee.
It runs in, I don't know if it was kind of withdrawal or deposit or whatever. It wanders in, right? Goes up to the robber.
Where did it come from?
Shut up. Will you let him finish the story and then ask questions? That's only fair.
Okay.
Wanders in. Runs up to the fella with the gun. Takes the gun and the bag of money off him. Everyone's like, yay, you know, we've been saved. Then the monkey starts backing out with the gun and the money.
Shut up.
see you later.
Sit down and fin-
I'm not having this.
And it
Here's
does,
the
it,
end of the
does,
story.
it does a runner with the money and the gun. No one's seen it since.
You are an idiot. I mean, you have said some stupid things in your time. What are you talking about?
It's a story that happened.
No! What are you talking about? What do you mean it backed out? It came in, was it an accomplice? Was it an opportunist monkey robbery? What are you talking? Think, Carl! Think!
I know it's mad. That's the idea of Monkey News. We're telling people how monkeys are pretty, you know, they're mental.
Yeah. They're up to no good.
What do you think? They've never seen the monkey since. What, did he have a getaway car waiting? Did he swing his way to freedom? Where was this? There's no details. Don't talk rubbish.
Well, Steve emailed it in. He's got it off the net. And the funny thing is,
Can I
the
see
funny
it? Have
thing
you got
is,
the information there?
yeah, the funny thing is, it wasn't just him who sent it. I had that a couple of times. So a few people obviously read the story and said, you know, that'll be good for Monkey News. It doesn't say anymore. It doesn't say if he went off to Spain. It doesn't say, you know, what, you know, if he's on Crime Watch.
Yeah.
It doesn't say any of that. It's just saying that's what he did. That's the story. And that's what Monkey News is about.
I've heard that they're making a movie version with Phil Collins. So I look forward to that and Julie Waters.
So that's this week's Monkey News. If you've got any, you know,
Well,
if anything's
no,
happening
don't bother.
in your
'Cause
town.
that's the end. No, that is the end. That's the end of Monkey News. No more Monkey News. This is, bit of Queen.
It says it here in this email, Rick. It's got to be true.
Right. 7 seats of one.
Yeah.
But you are easily wound up. You are a very finicky little fussy person. You don't like the slightest bit of pressure. See, I thrive on pressure. I'm ba 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 ba, working here, working there,
That's the way
bada
I
bang.
work as well. That's always doing stuff. Monkey News. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, Monkey News. I got an email.
Sounds
I won't read
afraid.
it to on air. It's rubbish. But
Yeah,
that's one
not-
feature.
not
That's
as
my
easy
bit
as
done.
that.
That's
It's
all
not
I
as
have to
easy as that.
do.
Well, I'll tell you what. When I'm away next week, do Monkey News and see what you can find out. Right?
Oh, there's a challenge.
Oh,
See what you can do. Because
Yeah.
I've already told them about the Guinness Book of Records one, so you can't use that.
Right.
We're going to find the best Monkey News ever, Carl.
Wow.
Okay, I think it's probably time. Let me just check my watch. Yeah, it's Monkey News time.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, you.
Right. Last week we talked about, you know, the one who was good at getting up buildings and that for putting out fires and stuff. Ended up working for the fire department.
Yeah, not true, but
Sure. But if the building had good grippage, he was right up there.
yeah, it's not true. But go on.
So this week, anyway, it's more about tall buildings and stuff.
Oh yeah.
It was this bloke who was a builder.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And you know what builders are like? They sort of move about, don't they, from sort of building to building, just building.
Well, yeah, well, once they've built it, the building's done and they move on to build some more.
Building to building, just building, yeah.
So he goes to his next job and that, right?
Who does, the builder?
The builder.
Yep.
He goes to, like, the
new
boss,
building.
the boss of this building, who's building it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And he says what unto him?
Do you need anything building?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So anyway, so he says, yeah, there's plenty of work and that going about.
Yep.
He says, we're working on this one here. He said, get going on it, like, there's your bricks and your cement and stuff, get on with it.
Yeah.
Any plans? Just build.
Just start building.
Yeah. Go up.
they're getting on with it and stuff, it's all going well.
Right?
Yep. But he notices that there's someone working high up, right, on the top bit.
Sure.
Because do you know, like, there's girders and stuff on these big buildings.
Yeah.
And he's still building the bottom bit,
And
which
he's
is
still,
weird.
yeah, well, that's the way they do it there, apparently, just to sort of speed it up, work from top to middle, from top to bottom.
Sure, that's in imaginary land.
We
So
put
anyway.
the spire on, now we better do the foundations,
Yeah.
and then put some stuff in the middle to keep it up there.
So anyway, he's saying to, like, the other workers, he's going, who's that up there?
Who's that up
Like,
there?
He's working on his own.
The little fella, was he?
And,
The little hairy fella up there.
He's the little hairy fella up there with the hard hat.
and the other fellas were going, look, you know, don't ask questions, you know, the boss decides who he takes on, we're happy to be getting paid here.
Don't ask questions! Well, I'll see him when he comes down.
So he said, well, he's pretty impressive, you know, the work rate he's doing, the way he's getting from one girder to the other. He
Swinging,
doesn't
is
seem-
he?
He doesn't seem to be scared of the heights or anything. He said, no, just let him get on with it, you know, we work well as a team. So anyway,
What nonsense is
So-
this?
so-
He believes all this.
Yep.
so he sees the boss and he goes, that fella up there, who's the fella up there? He's pretty good. And he's like, look, you know, just get on with the job, yeah, I'll pay you, let's just all get on with our jobs. Like. Lunchtime comes, they're all sat there, sat on a little wall, having the sandwiches, he's thinking he'll come down in a bit. He's just carrying on.
Is he just still going?
Still going on that, right? So the fella says to the boss man, he says, isn't that fella up there going to come down and join us for lunch? He said, like I said, mate, don't worry about him, right? He
He's
said,
very
"Look,"
secret. I'm suspicious about this fella. I don't know.
Yeah,
why,
I don't know.
I don't know why he's working through his lunch. I don't know why he's not scared of heights. And I don't know why he's swinging from girder to girder. It's weird. Go on.
So he said, oh, anyway, you've reminded me that he's up there. He said he's doing a lot of riveting and stuff up there. He probably needs some more nuts to...
Right, sure. And what kind of nuts is that? Is that nuts to food or?
So he said, what, nuts? He said, yeah, just, there's a bag full of them there. Just put them on the hook, send them up, and he can get on with his job. So anyway, he picks these nuts up,
Nuts,
right?
yep.
Just hooks them on. He thinks they're not that heavy,
No.
considering, you know, I mean, they're normally pretty heavy, aren't they? Like nuts
Big
and
bag of
bolts and
nuts,
stuff. So anyway, he has a little glance in.
Oh, no, what's in there?
Nuts.
What, you mean nuts that you can eat?
Nuts that you can eat,
Oh.
right? So they send the bag up, and he's thinking, what's all that about? He checks him out, starts to stare, works it out. You can see that he's a little chimp running about. So he goes, I'm not happy with this.
Why
So-
isn't he?
Because he's working for an organisation that's, you know, there's unions for this sort of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, he's not going, that's amazing. They've got a chimp riveting this building together.
Yeah.
That's not scary. He's wondering if they're breaking union rules.
So he
You
goes,
can half talk.
So he goes and has a word with
he
the boss.
goes to the boss and he goes, look, I've worked out what you're playing at here.
Yeah.
He said, all them
Is
out
the
there.
boss sitting in a tyre?
He said, all them lot out there might not be wise to what's going on here. He
Yeah.
said, but I've clocked it, and you're sending nuts up to it. It's a monkey, it's not on. So he goes, look, you know, we're just all trying to earn a living here. He said, don't get involved in it. I'm happy to pay you, but I'm paying him. Don't interfere.
He's paying him.
And he's saying, look, I'm just not happy with this. It's not allowed. So the boss was saying, well,
We
to
pay
be honest,
peanuts, we get monkeys.
mate, he said, to be honest, mate, you know, he's a great worker. He's known for doing what he does. He's a good grafter. If one of you's going to go, right, I'm afraid I'll have to let you go because he's
Blimey.
been here longer than that.
Yeah.
He was made redundant.
None of
because
that
the monkey.
happened.
He was laid off.
None of that happened.
He's laid off and that. And that's
No.
where that saying about, you know, like there's a lot of tower blocks and that in America. It's like the chimp off the old block is where. So that's monkey news.
You know the biggest complaint ever on TV, the most complaints ever for anything on TV, was the showing of The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah.
Do you know the second? Yeah, the second was I think Anne Robinson put in the Welsh into room 101.
What? Because she didn't like him and that.
Yeah, she just said, well, they're going in the, you know.
She said it slightly more eloquently than that.
Yeah, yeah.
I can the people or the place.
I don't know.
I think it was the place and therefore the people.
Yeah.
What do you mean, yeah?
No, well, you know, my mum and dad have sort of moved from Manchester. They've reside now in Wales.
Oh, yeah.
And it is.
Look at his face, turning his nose up.
No, but it is pretty depressing. Do you know what I mean? It's just one of them places that it's like you go back in time and that when you go there. I mean, maybe the major cities there, maybe Cardiff is alright.
What, even coming from Manchester, it's like going back in time?
It's just, it's like one of them places that it feels like every day is Sunday. Do you know what I mean? It's just depressing and grey and slate
Lots of
everywhere.
bickers walking around going, I'm late.
Well, yeah, it is the sort of attitude they have, right? This is true, because my mum and dad live there and that, right? And they love it, it's alright, it's an healthy place to go when you get older and that. But, this is why they don't move on in Wales.
Well, I'd just like to make another...
No.
Sorry to any Welsh people listening, we're not saying you don't move on. Carl is.
No, but...
Sorry about the little Chinese shoes again
The
as
thing
well.
is, it's good that, in a way, that they do that, and they don't want to be, like, you know, rushing about everywhere, because the way London isn't that great either, is it? Because it's totally opposite here, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not having a go. It is a bit dull. I think even people who live there will agree with me,
Okay.
right? But, like, one of the shops that my mum and dad use, right, it's only a little sort of villagey type shop, they can't be bothered staying open for hours and hours, right? Because there's not enough people use the shop.
Yeah.
So what you do is, they get used to what you buy,
They
and
leave it out.
they put it in a phone box outside.
They put it in a phone box?
Yeah.
So it doesn't get wet.
So my dad's loving that.
Well,
Once he
yeah.
found that out, it was like, brilliant.
But how is that a bad thing? That's brilliant.
Well, it's not for other people, it is for my dad, because he's picking up all sorts of stuff.
Oh,
Chickens.
no, he's not!
Oh, yeah.
He's not nicking other people's shopping.
Well, it's not like nicking, is it? Because it's not theirs yet.
Oh! And you've stitched him up on radio.
Well, of course, because they're going to think, who's that? Who is there in town with a Manc accent?
Who,
hangs around a lot, yeah.
keeps making phone calls. And is getting fatter.
Yeah.
That's
You stitched it
I
right
love
up
that.
there,
I
Carl.
love that your dad was excited when he found out.
I can't believe that he's moved there. He's retired to this little village where it's based on trust and community, and he is abusing it. He's using his scally Manc ways.
Bloody hell, Lakers. There's no bread again.
There's old women
Was
going
empty.
hungry.
Yeah.
Their cats aren't getting fed, and your father is just. I can't. That's obscene. That's obscene.
Oh, I think it's Die Thief. That fella from Manchester.
I don't even think they've got Sky there yet, have they? They can't listen, they won't know what's...
I think you stitched him right up. I hope you have, actually. I hope he goes down for it. I hope he's hounded out of the community like Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
They should get burning torches, go up to the
Set fire
mansion.
to his cottage.
Yeah. Exactly.
Right, well...
He's out of the choir.
Yeah.
Has it come to this?
Set streets.
Original pirate material. You're listening to the streets. Lock down your aerial. Has it come to this?
Marcus has emailed. He says no to Rockbusters. He hasn't heard it, but it sounds rubbish. Believe me, you couldn't be more right.
Well, does The Office sound good as a title?
Right. This is someone else. Don't bring back Rockbusters. Please, can we have more Holy Fook?
You're not pronouncing it right,
I
Steve.
know. I was just a bit edgy there.
It's Holy Fuck, the little Chinese fella. The
Say
little
that
funny, Holy Fuck, the little funny Chinese fella.
No, okay, alright. Well, otherwise, Carl, other than those few negative ones, most people want to see the return of Rockbusters. So, do I
Okay, go on
shall I
then.
tell people what the
Let's
prizes are?
go.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Are these the prizes?
Yeah, they're the prizes.
Alright, let me have a look. We've got the new album from Goldfrapp. What's this one here? Oh, I've no idea. The Yardbirds. A new album from the Yardbirds. On VHS, Coogan's Run, the show where different characters make an appearance each week, including, I think, Pauline and Paul Calf. Good stuff. Who the hell wants this? Meglos,
that?
a Tom Baker Doctor Who edition. And the only decent thing really in the collection, other than Coogan's Run, is the X-List, the double CD featuring lots of current indie favourites. So, not bad little selection there, Carl.
Yeah, well, if you are new, you haven't heard it before, I sort of give a cryptic clue, and then some initials.
I'd say it isn't cryptic. It's like, what am I thinking? That might or might not be the initials that I'm gonna say. That's how you gotta think, really.
Yeah.
But go on.
Do you want to remind them of any that spring to mind? Just as a...
Exploding Pet was Atomic Kitten, doesn't really work. What
I
else?
fell down in a puddle in Texas.
I got my legs wet. Knelt down in the puddle, got my legs wet. Wet Knee Houston doesn't work either.
Whitney Houston.
Jamaican, swinging a fish round. De-trout spinners doesn't work in the slightest. Doesn't work in the slightest.
How they work. So, there's 3 of them, you email in. So here we go then. Number 1. The gingerbread man has only got 1 leg. Right? The gingerbread man has only got 1 leg.
Got
the
it.
initials there. LB. LB, right? Okay. Second one. These people from the East Midlands swear a lot. Alright? These people from the East Midlands swear a lot.
These people from the...
East Midlands swear a lot. The
Okay.
initials TTD. Right? And, the third one. Have a holiday in Italy.
So
Right?
you've done 3 then?
TB is the initials on that one. So quickly again, the first one. Gingerbread man's only
Yeah, I've got that
leg.
one as well. I've got that
LB.
one. I got 2.
These people from the East Midlands swear a lot. TTD. And, the third one. Have a holiday in Italy. TB. Email in with what the songs are and you win that stuff. ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Hang on, it's not the songs, it's the artists, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, just
Oh yeah, like he said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Email only, please, ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
we got that going.
Yeah, looking forward to, the
Brilliant.
answers on that.
Bit of feeder would be good, wouldn't it?
Alright.
I love this. Well, C-Bone 104.9. Good track, innit?
Oh, yeah,
Going all the way back. All the way back there. Wow, Rockbusters. The results. You've had a few real answers, proper answers, I hear. So, either I'm wrong, or people do think like you. I've got 2 of them. What are the clues again?
Right. First one was, the gingerbread man has only got 1 leg.
I got that.
That was LB.
Limp Bizkit.
Right.
Yeah,
the
that
third
works.
one. The third one that I think you worked out.
Yeah.
Have a holiday in Italy.
Cheering Breaks.
TB. Chewing breaks.
Yeah, this is the one I can't get. If there's a reason why I can't get this, we're not doing Rockbusters
Can I
again.
give the answer to this one?
Yeah.
What's the clue?
The clue, these people from the East Midlands swear a lot.
Yeah. TTB.
TTB.
The answer?
TTD.
Yeah, go on.
Give the clue again?
These people from the East Midlands swear a lot.
Tourette's Trent D'Arby.
Right, you're never doing Rockbusters again.
Tourette's Trent D'Arby.
Right, you're not doing it. You've blown it. You see, you sneak that one in,
Yeah, but I always like to sort of give 2 that, you know, are fairly easy, and then you sort of work out the men from the boys then, don't you?
yeah, well, I mean, if I'd have done a character called Tourette's Boy, friend of the little Chinaman, and it went, ding dong, oh look, it's Tourette's Boy, friend of, holy fuck, holy fuck, you'd have been annoyed. Do you know what I mean? Oh, who's your mate, Tourette's Boy? Holy fuck. You'd have been annoyed, wouldn't you?
Is that a character from Lenny Henry's show? I can't remember.
I can't remember whether it's Chris Moores or Lenny Henry.
Yeah, one of them. Anyway, the winner, lucky old Richard Perks from Birmingham. He's listening presumably on Sky. And so nice to have him listening. And that's Richard Perks. He's got those answers, all of them right. In fact, most people seem to get Terence Trent D'Arby or Tourette's Trent D'Arby.
Clocks from The Coldplay on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Steve Merchant, and back, Karl Pilkington.
Hey.
He's raring to go. That's nice when you have a bit of time off, isn't it?
Yeah, how long have you had off now
About
then,
3
Carl?
weeks.
About
About
3
3
weeks,
weeks, yeah. We can't do that because we're sort of self-employed and we'd be letting people down, but it's different when you know, you get paid anyway whether you turn up or not. But good to have
I'm
you back. Good to
never,
have
I'm never off ill.
No,
That's the
good-
first time
No,
I've
I
ever been
just-
off ill, like,
Well, no,
except-
I mean, just you're off 2 weeks and then you're off.
No, I just wish I was the kind of person who could let down an audience
I know,
of regular
really, yeah.
listeners.
Yeah, but like I say,
Well, no, we spoke to you. You weren't that bad. A cold, you don't go home for a cold. We were discussing this last night in the pub, and you know, you don't go home for a cold. Okay, then, so moving on. What have we got then? We've got some
Wasn't
great
cold,
songs.
though.
I've brought in the Smiths. I've brought in Buzzcocks. I've brought in Neil Young. I know Steve's got some hip hop.
Some great hip hop.
I've got
Hooray!
some great Elvis Costello. It's going to be great. Carl, come on, concentrate. You've been away for 3 weeks.
just annoys. No, stop saying that.
What?
Because you're annoying me now.
Why? Oh,
that
what
what
you
you
do? Go home ill? Oh, he's annoyed me. Oh, has he? Yeah,
I got a bit of a
wet jeans
headache.
and I'm a little bit annoyed. Can I have some time off but still get paid? Yes, of course you can,
Steve,
Carl.
right, he called me up, winding me up about this, and right, I'm 30, right, I'm 30 now. I can only remember being off 2 times.
Oh, his memory's going as well, you had some time off.
And both of them were when I was at school.
What's school?
One when it was windy.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
But to be honest, Carl, that lasted for 7 years. Your time off at school.
Why did you have time off? Because it was windy.
Were you windy, or was it windy outside?
No, it was like when...
Your auntie wasn't out the window, was she?
When the winds were bad in the 70s, and my mum said, oh...
Whoa. What? I remember space operas and flares. I don't remember the winds being bad in the 70s.
Well, my mum just said, you might get blown into the road, so don't go.
She had so much faith in you, didn't she? As a human being.
Is that why she got fired from the pie shop? I'm not coming in today, I might get blown into the road.
Oh, God.
The funny thing it was, right, Steve, they had this thing going at school, because a lot of people used to wag it back then. Right?
Used to what?
Wag it, sort of not go in.
Yeah.
Right? And, they sort of tried to make it interesting for you by giving you an
education.
A certificate if you did a full week.
Reward for the rest of your life with achievement. That sort of carrot.
And also, like, let you go home at 3 o'clock on a Friday.
Right.
If you'd done a full week and that.
Yeah.
So it was lovely weather all week. Then it just sort of changed on a Friday. And I got up and it was all windy.
It was
my mum
windy
said,
for Friday on 7, isn't it?
don't, if you don't want, don't go in, because, you might get blown into the road and that. So I said, alright, then I'll stay off. And,
so why did she told you to hold on to a fence or walk you there? What's this? Don't go out.
Immediately give up.
I love this getting blown into the road. Is that based on your cats that kept getting blown into the road?
Well, so I got to school on the Monday, right? And the teacher said,
Took you a long time.
Today, to punish you, you're the only one who wrecked the whole week, right? Everyone else came in, you didn't. So everyone else is going home at 3 o'clock today, but you're not.
Brilliant. Serves you right, and
I wasn't bothered though, it was great, because I said, well, you'll have to stay with me, won't you? And it was great. So all I did for half an hour was doodle and stuff. It was great that afternoon.
Yeah.
And that was ages ago. That was like when I was about 8. And that's one of the times I was off ill.
Yeah.
So it was
but that wasn't even ill, that was wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a bit different when you're to be honest with you, world though, Carl. You can't just not turn up because you've got a bit of a cold or you're a bit fed up. I mean, we had an appointment 4 o'clock Thursday, wasn't it? And he had to call it because I cancelled it. Meeting went on a bit late.
Yeah.
Time management. Get things done. If it was important, you'd get it done. Play a record, Carl.
Pull your finger out, please.
Faramunch, got ya. XFM 104.9. Well, as we promised, some feng shui. What do you want to know? Ratio of windows. It's one of those little books that you see at the sort of like the front desk of like Waterstones or Dillon's or one of those. And it's just it's a little guide. It's should I say what it is? I'm allowed, aren't I? Lillian Two's little book of feng shui, and obviously you can't go into it in depth, but it's some little,
just some little sort of nuggets, I suppose.
Yeah, ratio of windows. The ratio of windows to doors in your rooms should not exceed 3:1. Too many windows cause all your luck to seep away. Obviously. Hello. It is also better not to have windows on the wall opposite the door.
Is that the case in your place, Carl? Because you may need to brick that up when you get back later.
I always remember, I used to work nights.
Yeah.
Right? And it was when my brother just sort of got kicked out of the army.
Yeah.
And my mum and dad went away on holiday, so he was staying with us.
He's got to write a book, this bloke.
And,
You have got to write a book, Carl. Go on.
I came back,
Yeah.
and there was women everywhere. There's women in every bed in the house. I thought, where am I going to sleep?
Had he set up a brothel? What?
So, no, it's just a bit of a one.
That's impressive, though. A girl in every single bed. I mean,
He was mad. So, I slept on the sofa downstairs, and I didn't sleep that well.
yeah,
But I slept on it before when it was facing a different way,
sure.
and I had a good sleep.
So for you, that's proved the worth of feng shui.
Yeah, I think there's something in it.
Did you honestly think there's something in it, though?
Yeah, I do, yeah.
Okay, we'll just read a few of the others, Rick.
Okay, well, it's not. I think most people know this one. Display the three-legged frog for luck. Look for a three-legged frog. You can buy one from any Chinese supermarket, and place it in the vicinity of your front door, facing inwards as if it has just come into the house. Don't place the frog facing the door. Please.
Oh, come on, people.
What
Think before you place your frog.
I mean, this
This really is. I mean, but
What's the last page? Because that will be the most important one.
do you reckon?
The last one I
The wealth vase. Make a wealth vase and keep it hidden in your cupboard. It can be made of gold, crystal, or glass. Can I just say something? If you've got a vase made of gold, you're probably all right for money anyway.
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
But this is the wealth vase. How do you make the wealth vase?
Fill it with semi-precious stones and with soil taken from a rich man's garden.
So just find the soil of a rich man. Take some soil from the
This is like bury a piece of steak and the water will go.
Yes.
I have a tooth of frog. This is.
It's the one where with the gods. Can you find that one?
Oh, where's that one? Yeah.
What do you make of Feng Shui, Carl? Is it something you believe in?
Well, like I said, I didn't sleep well on the sofa when it was.
So for you, that's proof positive.
Yeah, you've got to get it right, haven't you?
I'd like Carl to read this out.
Okay.
Yeah, do you mind? Read it out. Just read it out loud.
Which one?
Yeah, the gods are here. Right. Okay.
Just read that. That's a good
Invite
bit.
the gods
Yeah.
of wealth into your home.
Yeah.
The Chinese have several gods of wealth,
Yeah.
which they display in their homes to attract what? Prosperity.
Prosperity.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. My personal favourite is T.C. Chi Yi,
Yeah.
who sits on a tiger.
He sits on a tiger.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
It's pretty difficult to find this fella.
Yep.
If you could use Kang Kung or the 3-star gods. Oh no.
Read him out.
Read out the names of the star gods.
F.U.K.
Read it out.
no,
Just
he's
read
a
that.
god.
It's a
He's a
Chinese
god.
god. You're
He's a
allowed to
Chinese
say
god.
Chinese god on the radio.
No.
You are allowed to say
If you're allowed
Chinese.
to say it, you say it then.
Well, look. You're so immature.
Read the three of them out, Rick.
Okay. If he is difficult to find, you should use Quan Kung or the 3-star gods, Fuck, Luck, and Sao, all of whom bring wealth and prosperity.
Now, what were the names of the gods again? Because if I'm making a note at home, Rick,
Well,
I better.
it's the Chinese god.
Yeah, there's Quan Kun, or you can use Luk Sao.
You can't.
What? But it's a god. F-U-K. That's how it's pronounced.
Yeah, I assume. I don't know if we're pronouncing it wrong. I really apologise.
Apologies
Because
if we're offending anyone who's of an Oriental persuasion. But that's Quan Kun or Luk Sao or Fuck. And any of those gods are available at a Chinese supermarket.
near you.
Yeah. That's Feng Shui. It's an ancient art. You can't give me that look.